Welcome to your market report for the first day of May, Tuesday, the first day of May 2018. And let's get the chart started right here. Okay, now here's the thing. I've been kind of waiting for everything to get going this morning a little bit. I'm a little bit late, and the reason why I'm watching my eye on silver right here. She took a dip down to almost 1610. She's starting to respond back a little bit right now, but man, silver's been smashed the last couple days. They have to be careful. They're going to break this market. This market can be broken real easy. What I mean by break the market is, if any amount of demand goes up, they're going to run out of physical inventory. And they can only play the paper games if they have sufficient physical inventory. If there's even a hint to the market that inventory is getting low, the market will come and scoop up what's left of the inventory. It's just human nature. So we got to keep a close eye on this. There's an awful lot of stuff happening in the markets this morning. I see, first off, we're going to get right to it. First off, silver. The next thing, Bitcoin. We're going to talk about Bitcoin here. I'm going to go to Bitstamp. We're seeing 8,900. Now, the first knee-jerk reaction I expect when the market starts to fall down toward 20,000 is that people are going to rush into Bitcoin a little bit, and they're going to actually hold this market up and buoy it, even though the stock market's falling initially. The initial fall in the stock market. And I believe that this fall is not quite yet. We're not quite there yet because of the bond rate prices, and we're getting close. We're getting close. Everything's following exactly in line with what I thought it would. Now, I predicted that on this drop right here that we're having now, this jig-jaggedy drop we're having now, that 23,000 is going to be the bottom of this drop. I've said that for the last week or so. When it was heading back up into the 2400s, now it's down to the 2300s, and I believe that 23,000 is going to be the bottom of this little stair step that we're on right here. And then she's going to bottom. She's going to bounce back a little bit from 2,300. But the big one's coming. The big one's coming. In fact, it very well could be the big one is the next drop down from 23,000 under. Could be the entrance to the big one. But we got to keep our eye on that bond rate to know when the big one's coming. So today, she's down 193 points, but I don't think she's going to go below 23,000 even. Now, Bitcoin, as long as the market's dropping like this, Bitcoin is, people are going to stay steady on Bitcoin because they think it's a safe haven asset. Honest to gosh, they do. They really think it's a safe haven asset like gold or silver. And gold and silver are actually suffering, and the reason why they're suffering right now is got everything to do with the dollar and the inverse relationship that gold and silver have to the dollar. Now let's take a look at the crude oil prices is 67.71 today, down 86 cents. The liquidity's drying up. Liquidity is drying up right now in the system, and we're seeing the effects of it. And this is exactly what I expected. I said there's three commodities that they're going to run to when the liquidity really dries up. But the stock market's going to have to fall below 20,000 before they run to gold and silver. Because that's when the fear is going to begin. As long as there's no fear out there, they're going to just let gold and silver keep sliding. As long as there's no fear, they're going to let the bankers manipulate the price down low, and there's going to be no run on the physical supply as long as there's no fear out there. Fear is what's going to do it, and the fear is going to come when the stock market drops below 20,000. That's when the fear is going to come. Actually, it might start to come when the stock market's still up around 21, 22,000. A couple thousand down more than what we are now. And their fear is going to start entering in, and they're going to start murmuring and talking, and fear generates more fear. And they're going to run to safe haven assets, and that's when you're going to find out what the real safe haven assets are. Gold, silver, and the dollar are where they're going to run, and they're going to drop their cryptocurrencies. For a little while, they're going to drop them, but they're going to come back to them later, and that's why you want to get in. You want to get in when they drop them, because they're going to come back to them later. in a big way. Big way. Okay, so let's move on to the treasuries real quick here, because this is integral to the market. We see quite a strong move up in the 10-year and in the 30-year, a strong move up in the 5-year, and a fair move up in the U.S. 2-year. The move down is in the 3-month Treasury, 1.8%. It's dropped a little bit in the very short-term Treasury. But okay, so we're seeing moves up. We're up near 3% again, 2.97 in the U.S. 10-year, getting up near 3%. And so now let's move on to the dollar. This is probably the big story of the day right here. The dollar has been heading up sharply, 92.41. So the dollar has taken off first, not gold and silver, and this is what I expect. I didn't really expect it to take, actually, I didn't really expect it to take off this big, this fast, this early. I expected the market to drop more, and I expected the dollar to start to take off more back when the market got around 20,000. That's when I expected it. I didn't expect it to launch this early. It was a little bit unexpected. I thought the dollar would still be meandering a little bit right now, probably around 90. That's kind of what I expected, to tell the truth. But it surprises me, the fact that it's starting to move ahead of time. It's starting its move a little bit quicker than I thought. But it's still on course because it is moving. And I said dollar, gold, silver. And an awful lot of these other guys out there at that time were saying that the dollar was going to die. And I was saying, no, dollar, gold, silver. Dollar's going to move up with gold and silver. I said those 3 assets. If you guys remember back a few tapes ago, that's what I said. And at the same time, all these other guys were telling you the dollar's going to die. Well, the dollar's making her move, and gold and silver's going to make its move too. It's going to make its move, but you got to keep your eye on this thing. It's going to make its move when the market drops below 20,000. That's when it's going to make its move. I'll tell you how I know. It's not rocket science. Go back to the brick exit. That night, when they had an unexpected vote in Britain to leave the European Union, that very night, I was watching silver price. I had my eye right on the silver chart, and the silver price was going up like a rocket, and it's because investors were scared. They were scared. They don't get scared. It's funny how certain things will scare them, but they got scared. What happened? They run to silver and gold. Silver is shooting up like a rocket. It went up to like almost $22 an ounce, you know? And anybody who had silver at that point was not selling, because they were watching it go straight up, and they were thinking to themselves, where is this going to stop? Is it going to break free? Is it going to go to 30, 40, 50? And they'll be thinking the same thing when silver goes free this time, and it goes shooting up. And it won't be shooting up like that. It'll be shooting up even faster. It'll go so fast this time, when it really goes, that it's going to trip the breakers. They got breakers put in, you know, on silver. I think it's $3, I think, the breaker. And they trip it, and it trips for 15 minutes, and it stops the market. And then what happens is when it comes back on, if it's still going up, it goes up another $3. It'll trip the breaker again. I'm serious, we could trip the breaker multiple times in one day, you know, when silver goes, when she finally really breaks free. You know, it's going to be a sight to watch. These markets are starting to get haywire. And a lot of people are saying, hey, you know, what's going on with the markets? Cryptocurrency market capitalizations today. We're looking at $410 billion with Bitcoin dominance at 37.1%. And in the coins, they're all in the red today. Some of them are down more than others, but I don't really expect a big drop in cryptocurrency until the market drops below 20,000. Seriously. So let's take a look back at the Dow Jones again real quick here. We're looking at 24,900. So we got 4,000 to drop before people are going to turn to gold and silver, and before they're going to turn to a crypto and sell crypto. Because crypto is a speculative asset, they're going to want to be in dollars at that point in time. And because gold and silver is a tried and true safe haven, they're going to want to be in gold and silver too, and dollars. And that's where they're going to go, gold, silver, and dollars, when the real crisis hits, the deflationary crisis hits. And everybody is going to be dumping everything else. Everything else. They're going to be dumping everything. And to be in gold, silver, and dollars, because deflation's going to be here. The Fed's going to have to put a stop in it, because this nonsense, I'm going to call it nonsense, that the Fed's doing with this reverse quantitative easing business, this quantitative tightening, they're not going to be able to do it much longer. They're going to crash the system. And then you watch them turn into doves when they crash the system. You watch. They'll turn into the biggest doves you ever seen in your life. Listen, thank you guys for listening. Like and subscribe, and we'll catch you in the next show. Bye.